What's up, guys? It's your boy Hokage Puya here, and we're here, guys. UCL knockout stage predictions. The round of 16 starts in a week and a half. It's time to get to the real business, you guys. This is when the season actually starts. Obviously, the playoffs happened these last 2 weeks. The crappy teams got booted out, and the teams that deserve to go into the round of 16 got in. They did the draw Friday morning, my time, and we're gonna predict all of them, you guys. Like the video, subscribe if you're new. Let's get right into it because we got a lot of games to go through here, a lot of games. And I want you guys to just appreciate something. Look at this craftsmanship from me. Look at this craftsmanship. Woo! Look at this bracket craftsmanship. You guys, what other YouTuber is making their own bracket like this? What other Google Sheets master? Your boy Hokage Puya here, man. But anyway, yeah, I just took this off some guy on YouTube. Some guy on YouTube had a bracket template, and I can't take the credit for it because I'm pretty sure maybe other people have seen this, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I went to this effort. I set it up for my own needs. But let's get into it, man. Let's just start from the left side. Liverpool versus PSG. Now, obviously, Liverpool could have drawn PSG or Benfica. I really wanted Liverpool PSG. I'm glad this was the draw made. I don't want Barcelona PSG yet, because if Barcelona and PSG were to face each other now, I think Barcelona would have been a little bit too strong for them right now. But with Liverpool, who have been a little bit rocky the last month, and PSG, who is probably the most informed team in Europe, let's be honest, guys. PSG is the most informed team in Europe. I have to admit it. And this is going to be a great matchup. This is going to be a freaking great matchup. Dude, PSG's balance in midfield is just right now. In the attack, Ousmane Dembele, Barcola, all those guys are balling out. And in defense, that's the big question with PSG is with Marquinhos and Donnarumma, there are two players that have really screwed PSG over in the last 4 seasons in the Champions League knockouts. Can those two stay mistake-free? Can those two stay composed? Obviously, PSG being the team that's getting into the playoffs after they glazed, you guys. They destroyed Brest 10-0 across 2 legs. Absolutely disgusting scoreline. They show no mercy. Since they're the playoff team, PSG will play the first leg at home, and then Liverpool is going to take that second leg at Anfield. So PSG need to get a big win in the first leg. I see a lot of people seeing that, making the point I made that, Liverpool, they're a little shaky right now. They're not looking as strong. They're not as solid. They're not controlling games like they used to. They're a little bit fragile. PSG is super in form. A lot of people, not a lot, I think 50-50 from what I've seen on YouTube, 50-50, 50% going with a PSG upset here and 50% going with the Liverpool win. I am in the space of PSG. Their last loss of this season was against Bayern in the league phase. Since then, they have not lost, but the issue with PSG right now is they haven't really been tested. I understand they beat Man City 4-2 at home in the league phase, coming back from a 2-0 deficit. I understand, but seeing how Man City have moved, seeing how Real Madrid have destroyed them, seeing how unstable those guys are, I'm not really rating a win against Manchester City. So this is going to be PSG's first true test since that Bayern game back in November, around the middle of November. So PSG, a lot of questions will be asked and answered of this team across 2 legs against Liverpool. I think when they're coming up against Liverpool now, they come up against Van Dijk, Konate, and defense. They come up, although in attack, it's really a Salah carry job. So what will happen if Nuno Mendes on that left side for PSG, along with Pacho, what if they shut Salah down? That's a big question mark, because Salah can be shut down. I'm not going to act like Salah is this inevitable player. Salah can be shut out of a game clean. And that's scary, because how will Liverpool get those goals? Gakpo's not in form. Luis Diaz is not in form. Darwin has never been in form. So what's going to happen if they shut down Mo Salah? We're going to see. I'm going to choose Liverpool. I think I'm just going to go Liverpool because, thank you, I thought it was not going to work. You see, guys, when I check the box, they show up here. So drop a like on the video for your boy for this spreadsheet work. But yeah, I think Liverpool will be a little too strong here. I think the midfield, yes, PSG have some quality midfielders, man. Vitinha, João Neves, Fabian Ruiz. I understand, but I'm going with the team that has been solid all season. Yes, they've slipped up the last month, dropping a lot of points in the Premier League. I'm just gonna go Liverpool because PSG, anytime they've been tested against a serious team this year, they've lost. They've lost. Atleti, Bayern, earlier in the season. I think they played Arsenal, right? Arsenal or Inter. I'm forgetting who it was. I think it was Arsenal. Arsenal beat them. So yeah, Arsenal beat them early on in the league phase. So yeah, I understand PSG is a lot different these days. I understand, 3 months, 4 months removed from that Bayern game, they have grown a lot as a team, but I think Liverpool are going to be too strong. I think Liverpool are going to be too strong. I don't know how well PSG will cope with the well-oiled, high-performing Liverpool team that Arne Slot has coached this season. So, yeah, Club Brugge versus Aston Villa now. Club Brugge, obviously, people call them Club Burger FC, this and that. A lot of disrespect to Club Brugge. They make the shock upset victory over Atalanta across 2 legs in the playoff. I wasn't too shocked. Club Brugge is a very great team. Yes, I think they finished very bottom of the playoff spots, like 24th place. But on their day, Club Brugge can do damage. And the reason why this matchup is so interesting is Club Brugge beat Aston Villa earlier this season in the league phase. They beat them. So, Unai Emery, I understand. The big thing for Aston Villa here is they made 3 attacking signings in the winter: Marcus Rashford, Asensio, and Malen. And you might say those players are finished. Well, Marcus Rashford has 3 assists in his first 2 games, I think, or 4 assists in his first 2 or 3 games for Aston Villa. And Marco Asensio just scored a brace against Chelsea today to get Aston Villa the 2-1 win at home in the Premier League. So Aston Villa reinforced their attack. But this Club Brugge team, what I saw against Atalanta, will they continue that momentum into this Aston Villa game? If they do, which I think they might, that Talby kid that they have, excellent footballer, bro, I really think Club Brugge can do something here. So listen, Aston Villa, I'm not going to ignore the fact that they strengthened in the winter. I'm not going to ignore the fact that Unai Emery is one of these managers in world football that really knows how to navigate knockout ties, that really knows how to set his teams up to win. Now, the issue for Unai Emery here, which is why I think Aston Villa playing a weaker team like Bruges kind of goes against them. Unai Emery, and what a lot of people don't mention with Unai Emery is great in knockout football when his team are the underdogs. When his teams are the underdogs is when he thrives. By no means is Aston Villa the underdog here. Everyone is expecting Aston Villa to win. Everyone. So how is that going to look? How is that going to look for Unai Emery? Because think of his Villarreal team that upset Bayern. Think of the Sevilla teams and the Villarreal, like whatever, the Sevilla teams, Villarreal. I think he was at Sevilla, right? I'm forgetting, right? Think of the teams that he's coached great tournaments in knockout football. They're always the underdogs. They're making runs as underdogs in these big ties. Aston Villa, you're not the underdog here. So Unai Emery, how are you going to navigate this? You can't just sit back and counter. You can't. Especially against Club Brugge. So it's a weird one for Aston Villa because I don't think this is a lot more dangerous than a lot of people on YouTube have been making it out to be. And I think Unai Emery, when his team needs to be on top, when his team... Hold on. I just heard... Just kidding. I thought I heard a ghost behind me. It was just someone's brakes outside of my window. But anyway, what I was getting to, I don't believe Unai Emery thrives when his team is supposed to be the favorite. So you guys, I think this would be an upset victory here. I'm going Club Brugge. I'm going Club Brugge to beat Aston Villa over 2 legs. So we'll see. We'll see if I look like a complete idiot when the round of 16 is done. But I believe, man, I was really impressed with Club Brugge against Atalanta. Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid. This is interesting. Now, with this draw, I think I saw it. Atletico Madrid will play Real Madrid and Barcelona like 4 or 5 times in 1 month together. So their fixture schedule surrounding these 2 Real Madrid ties is going to be crazy. So I don't know. Atletico Madrid, they've impressed me in La Liga this season. They're in a 3-horse race right now with Barcelona and Real Madrid for the La Liga title. But it's Real Madrid, man. Now, I don't know. The last time Real Madrid pimps Atletico Madrid in the Champions League all the time. 2014 final, 2017 final, 2015 round of 16 or a quarter final, I believe it was. They pimp these guys all the time. Like Real Madrid owns Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. So I don't have much hope for Atletico Madrid here, especially when I saw Mbappe score a freaking hat trick against Manchester City. Now, yes, I just said for PSG, I don't take a Manchester City game seriously, and I don't. I'm not putting too much Real Madrid stock from the Man City game. But my issue with Real Madrid right now is even when they're not at their best, when the Champions League anthem hits, they somehow get it done. Whether they play well and they get the win, or they completely scam wins out, they get it done. And I cannot see with Kylian Mbappe finally getting into form, hitting his form, scoring goals, scoring hat tricks, growing in confidence, I cannot see how Atletico Madrid will stop Real Madrid here. Atletico Madrid, they're a much more attacking team these days under Simeone, Julian Alvarez, and Antoine Griezmann. Fantastic partnership this season. It's basically like half Argentina FC, like Molina, De Paul, Julian Alvarez, Simeone, Giuliano Simeone, Simeone's son playing on the team. So, yeah, I'm going to go Real Madrid. This is going to be close. Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid in the Champions League is always close. We've seen that the last 10 years, that 3 times they've come up against each other. It's always blood is spilled, emotions pour over, drama. So this is going to be an intense 2-legged affair here at Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid. But I'm going for Real Madrid, the kings of the Champions League. I can't bet against them. I'm sorry. I will not bet against Real Madrid in the round of 16, especially against Atletico Madrid, a team, a club who they have pimped in the Champions League the last couple of times. So Real Madrid going through against Atletico Madrid over 2 legs. But hold on. No, never mind. I was going to say Bellingham is going to be suspended for the first leg at the Bernabeu, and then he'll be back. But that the second leg is going to be the Wanda. So Atletico Madrid does have the second leg at their home. So don't get me wrong. I can see Atletico Madrid winning this, but I'm backing the Real Madrid Champions League heritage, to be honest. I'm not betting against it, and I'll never bet against it, especially in a round of 16 games. So Real Madrid going through against Atletico Madrid. Arsenal versus PSV. I know Arsenal lost to West Ham today. 16th place West Ham, by the way, at home when they're trying to instigate a title race, which is very bad, which is very embarrassing. This is close, bro. Like, I see a lot of Arsenal fans completely disregarding PSV. I see a lot of these clown-ass Arsenal fans going on saying, doing Arsenal versus Real Madrid combined 11s because they believe them and Real Madrid will face each other in the quarterfinals. But I'm sorry, dude. I do not believe in this Arsenal defense in the big moments. People do not talk about how often Saliba, Gabriel, there's always a mistake in the back for Arsenal in very important moments. Just off the top of my head against Bayern, Saliba and Gabriel had nightmares in the first leg at home in the Emirates against Bayern, the worst Bayern team of the last 15 years. Leroy Sané, who was playing horribly at the time, completely ran through their defense. They let Serge Gnabry score, fat man Serge Gnabry. So, listen, I'm going Arsenal. PSV, very impressed with the way they beat Juventus. Really impressed. And the reason why it's so impressive, and the reason why I'm scared that Arsenal fans can potentially be upset and be, dumped out embarrassingly, is the fact that PSV beat Juventus. They were creating so many chances against them. And you guys, this is a Juventus team that is very hard to beat, and it's very hard to score against them. These guys were undefeated in Serie A until like a month ago, until like the end of January. The teams could not get those winning goals. They drew so many games. PSV scored so many goals against them, created so many chances. Now, PSV have Noah Lang, that Flamingo guy, whatever the hell his name is, but they have 36-year-old Ivan Perisic, who is very experienced in the Champions League. And after tearing his ACL, I thought he was done, but he's playing at an incredible level for PSV right now. So this is going to be tough. PSV is going to need a very good result at home. They need to get a win in the first leg. If PSV do not win in their home leg, which is the first leg, it's done. It's done. You're not going to go to the Emirates and trump Arsenal by that much. So, yeah, I'm going to go Arsenal here beating PSV. But, again, like I stressed, this is going to be a closer game than a lot of Arsenal fans are making it out to be. Let's head over to the right side of the bracket. How long have I been yapping for already? 14 minutes in, guys. Let's talk about it. Barcelona, Benfica. I'm not going to try to rush myself. I got to get my thoughts out there nice and concisely so I don't look like a fucking idiot. Barcelona, Benfica. Listen, I've been backing Barcelona to win the treble basically all season, so I can't have Barcelona. I'm not a Barca fan, guys. I'm a Bayern fan. I'm a freaking Bayern fan, but I'm such a high believer in Hansi Flick's football. Over two legs, I don't see, because, Barcelona, they'll try to high press you. They'll try to contain you and dominate you. And if you're able to break their defense and create chances, it's going to become a scoring match. It's going to become a scoring match. Now, last time Barcelona and Benfica played, just earlier this season in the league phase, very, very, very entertaining game. Very entertaining game. Barcelona was it a tie or a win? I think Barcelona won the game, but it was a very, very close game. Lots of goals. Lots of freaking goals. Hold on. Let me check real quick. Oh, crap. The MLS started today. I forgot. I am all over the place, guys. I'm all over the place. Hold on. Where is that Benfica? 5-4. Yes, 5-4. 5-4 against Benfica. Remember, Pavlidis scored a bunch of goals in that game, and I was like, what the fuck is a Pavlidis, man? What the hell is that? It sounds like a Greek cheese, but instead it's a Greek footballer, actually. So, whatever. I just don't see how Benfica will outscore Barcelona, because worst case scenario for Barcelona is it becomes a scoring match. And with Hansi Flick, I will always back a Hansi Flick team to win in a scoring match, over two legs especially. So Barcelona, I'm going to go Barcelona. Benfica, I just think like that first game was so chaotic. I don't see it being as chaotic. I think Barcelona will learn their lessons from that first game and make sure that it does not become as wild as it was in the first meeting they had in the league phase just like a month ago, a little under a month ago. Actually, exactly a month ago. Today's the 22nd. They played on January 21st. So, yeah. I'm going to go Barcelona. Lille Dortmund now. Lille is absolutely the most surprising team from the league phase. They were not even on my radar to finish top 8, guys. Not even on my radar. But Lille finished top 8, and they got automatic qualification to the round of 16. Obviously, now facing off against Borussia Dortmund, a very poor Borussia Dortmund team. Now, here's the thing about Dortmund. They had Nuri Sahin, former player, assistant manager from last year. They just promoted him to coach this year. Absolutely awful. He was sacked about a month ago, and Niko Kovac came in. Now, Niko Kovac, very experienced manager. Very, very experienced manager. Coached at Bayern, won the league and cup double there that season. He knows how to win a trophy. Now, he doesn't know how to win the Champions League. He completely shit the bed against Liverpool for Bayern back in 2019. I literally punched a hole in my wall when we lost to Liverpool that year because I was so ashamed with the football we were playing after the full-time whistle when we lost in Allianz Arena 3-1. Remember that Sadio Mane goal? I was going to punch my TV in, guys. I was really going to commit homicide on my TV. But Niko Kovac, man, he's came in, rough start, lost his first 2 league games with Dortmund. Today, Dortmund gets the big 6-0 win against Union Berlin. Guirassy getting 4 goals, Pascal Gross getting 4 freaking assists. So, listen, the reason I think a lot of people will favor Lille, they'll see how bad Dortmund is doing, but bro, is this Dortmund team built for the knockout stages? Is this Dortmund team built for tournament football? I don't know, bro. The way they absolutely dominated and controlled Sporting. Now, I understand it's not Ruben Amorim's Sporting, and ever since Amorim left Sporting, they've been piss poor, basically, been really mid. Not the same. Gyökeres hasn't been firing the same. I understand, but they controlled them really well. Dortmund looked very comfortable across 2 legs against Sporting. But the thing is with Leo, they're similar to Dortmund this year. Very similar to Dortmund this year, where in the league, they're kind of mid, bro. I think they're like around mid-table, 8th, 7th place. I don't remember off the top of my head. But in the Champions League, they're absolutely balling. So, Jonathan David and all those guys for Lille. But at Dortmund, you have Guirassy, who's scoring so many goals in the Champions League. I think Guirassy is the top goal scorer in the Champions League. Or second top goal scorer in the Champions League, if I'm not mistaken, this year. So, you guys, this is going to be close. But I think I'm going to back Dortmund. I think I'm going to back Dortmund here because their players have more Champions League experience. I think Kovac, as his ideas start translating more to these Dortmund players, the defense will get stronger, and I think they can surprise people here and beat Lille out. I saw a lot of people on YouTube choosing Lille because they look at Dortmund's league form and they look at the result against Real Madrid where they lost like whatever, what was it, 5-1 or something, and think, oh, it's Dortmund, they're trash, they're bottlers. But not a lot of people are speaking about Lille's league form and how bad they've been in the league this season. in the McDonald's League. So Dortmund, I'm going to go Dortmund with a win. I'm starting to think, should I have done score line predictions? Nah, scores is too extra. We don't need to do score lines. We'll just go winners and losers. So yeah, I'm going to go Dortmund beating Lille over 2 legs here. The big one, man, at least the big one for me, Bayern versus Bayer Leverkusen. Now, Leverkusen is a fantastic team. Now, for Bayern fans out there, I feel like a lot of Bayern fans, and I think a lot of Europe, have still not accepted that this Leverkusen team is genuinely fantastic. I think a lot of people went back and they see that they lost 4-0 to Liverpool at Anfield earlier in the league phase, earlier this season. But I think a lot of people don't realize how much Bayer Leverkusen has developed as a team since that moment. They have developed so much since that huge loss to Liverpool, and they've just been excellent ever since that loss. They've been excellent. And from the Bayern perspective, obviously Bayern is, with a win tomorrow, they're 5 points clear right now with a game in hand on Leverkusen at the top of the Bundesliga. The recent game against Bayer Leverkusen, where Bayern got dominated, I think a lot of people are reading into that. I think I would caution a lot of people that Bayern went to that game, to the Bayer Arena, looking for a draw. They went there to play defensive, so that's why Leverkusen was able to impose themselves so much on Bayern that game. So for me, I'm not putting too much stock in that game because this is now the Champions League. This is the round of 16. I think for both teams, getting knocked down the round of 16 would be a disaster because I really think both teams are really just excellent. Just excellent. The thing with Bayern is a lot of people saying, oh, Celtic dominated us. And I understand Celtic defended so well, but I'm not going to sit here and act like we didn't create 10 goal-scoring opportunities across 2 legs. I'm not going to sit here and act like Kasper Schmeichel literally had a man-of-the-match performance in the second leg. I'm not going to ignore that. So Bayern, the key for Bayern is they have their full squad back. I think everyone is back from injury. This is the first time Bayern has had their full squad all season. Alphonso Davies is going to be back at left back. Kim Min-jae will be dropped to the bench because of all the Achilles injuries he's had, and it's affecting his game. Ito, the Japanese international, will be back there with Upamecano. The issue for Bayern is that attack, man. Like, I don't know. This is such a tough one to call. For me, even as a Bayern fan, as much as I want to be biased, and as much as I want to see Bayern get as far as they can and potentially get to the final in the Allianz Arena to make up for the demons of 2012, outside of Harry Kane, Jamal Musiala, and Olise, I don't have a lot of trust in Sané, and I especially don't have any trust in Coman and Gnabry. They're absolutely finished footballers. So, yeah, this is going to be a big test for company. Barring that 3-0 loss Bayern had last year away from home under Thomas Tuchel, the last 5 or 6 games against Bayern and Leverkusen have been absolutely razor thin, and I expect the same thing across 2 legs here. I could definitely see this game being one of the ties that goes to penalties or goes to extra time after 180 minutes of football. So who am I backing here? All bias aside, when Bayern wants to impose themselves on Leverkusen this season, they can do it. They went to the Bayer Arena a week ago, and they went there to defend. So that's why Leverkusen, dominated so much that game. In the earlier fixtures this year in the Pokal, I understand Leverkusen knocked us out in the Pokal, but we were a man down, and we still dominated that game. Bayern, in the home fixture in the league, dominated Leverkusen that game, and they just had their way with them. It's a different situation here because Leverkusen has grown as a team. Wirtz, Xhaka, all those guys, Jonathan Tah is on his absolute A game for Leverkusen this past month or two. It's going to be tough, bro, but I think I back Bayern. The thing Bayern needs to do, the key thing for Bayern here, the key thing for us is that they need to win that first leg at home, and then you could go to Bayer Arena and defend for your freaking lives. Defend for your freaking lives if you need to. And this is going to be a huge test for Vincent Kompany and Xabi Alonso. Guys, this is Xabi Alonso's first Champions League knockout tie as a manager. First time. So this is going to be a huge test for him as well. Let's see what happens. I'm going to back Bayern. I'm going to back the boys. This, I just have a feeling, man. I just have a feeling that we'll get the job done. So Bayern going through against Leverkusen, and I could definitely see this shit going to penalties, honestly. Feyenoord, Inter. I'm going Inter. Feyenoord are very good in attack, very good at sitting back and countering. The issue is Inter is the strongest defense in the UCL this season. They're absolutely the strongest defense in the UCL, and I just don't see how they'll be able to break down an Inter Milan team who have no problem conceding possession to an inferior team like Feyenoord, and letting them have a little more of the ball if that means they could be comfortable in the back and not concede. And I really rate Inzaghi as a manager. He's already gone this Inter team to a freaking final 2 years ago against Manchester City. So this Inter team, very strong. Lautaro hasn't been firing off this much as good as he was last season. I'll admit that. But Marcus Thuram has been excellent for Inter. One of their best, if not Inter's best player all season. And that defense solid. Barella, Çalhanoğlu, and all those guys putting in that work in the Inter midfield. So I think Inter will get the job done here. Now, quarters. How long did that take me to do the round of 16? We're already 25 minutes in. Am I yapping too much? I don't know. I don't care. We're here to talk about it, man. I love this shit. I love the UCL. Quarters. Let's start again on the left side. Liverpool versus Club Brugge. Now, I'm sorry. Club Brugge. This will be a step too far. I don't care how good Talbi is. I don't care about the momentum Club Brugge can potentially have after beating Atlanta. And if they were to beat Aston Villa, I don't care. Liverpool, if they get past PSG, that'll be a huge boost for them, a huge confidence boost for the team, beating such an informed team and dangerous team like PSG. I think Liverpool will just ride that wave of getting the results and, securing the league title these next couple of weeks. And they're just going to go for it, man. They're going to beat Club Brugge. I'm going to go Liverpool winning in the quarters and getting to the semifinals of the Champions League this year. Coming down to Real Madrid Arsenal. Now, let me get a sip of water before I say what I'm about to say. This is a difficult game for Real Madrid. I'm not going to lie. This is a difficult game for Real Madrid. Now, the issue and the reason why this can be a very difficult game for Real Madrid. I understand Arsenal. They don't have a Champions League. They haven't won a league in 20 years. And you guys, I love shitting on Arsenal. Arsenal are Bayern's pimps. Bayern, we use them as a fleshlight, man. It's a training match for Bayern every time they play Arsenal. We own them. The issue with Arsenal Real Madrid, especially now, is Arsenal will have no issue conceding possession and defending. They will have no issue doing that. Their defense is strong. They have the best. Them and Liverpool have the best defense in the Premier League. Arsenal is probably second or third strongest defense of the Champions League this year. The issue with that is, I think Bukayo Saka will be back for these games. Now, will Bukayo Saka be 100% match fit, on form? Probably not. But hey, that's a plus for them. It's going to be tough for Real Madrid because I could see Real Madrid struggling to break them down if Arsenal go really defensive, playing in their shell, parking the bus, playing like terrorists. I could see this being tough for Real Madrid. Now, the issue with Arsenal is their attack is so dead. I mean, even if they were to park the bus and counterattack, I don't think there's enough quality whatsoever for them to hurt Real Madrid. I don't think so. Bukayo Saka will be back, but I don't know. We don't know how good he'll be, how match fit he'll be, if he'll be on form, if he'll come back guns blazing. I don't know. He's been out for 3+ months. By the time he comes back, he'll be 3+ months out with an injury. Bro, if Bukayo Saka was here on full form, him and Odegaard running the show, Kai Havertz is out for the rest of the season for Arsenal as well. Hate on Havertz all you want. These are the kinds of games that he kind of pops up with goals. He kind of pops up with goals for himself in these kinds of games. He's not going to be here. If they had their attackers, Saka at full fitness, Kai Havertz, I think Arsenal could potentially do something here. But no, it's going to be too much for Arsenal. I'm going to go with Real Madrid beating Arsenal and going to the semifinals for a big boy matchup, rematch of their tie in the league phase earlier at the Anfield. Liverpool versus Real Madrid in the semifinals. Let's go over here to the right side. Barcelona, Dortmund. Now, a lot of people will go Barcelona easily. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to choose Barcelona. My issue here is Dortmund, if they do get past Lille, I'm thinking of the confidence boost they have and the momentum they'll have going to the quarterfinals. I think they've written off the league. Dortmund have completely written off the league. They have no chance of making Champions League football. This is their only chance, winning the Champions League, which I'll tell you right now, I will not be choosing Dortmund to win this Champions League in this predictions video. I am already choosing Barcelona to get through. My issue here for Barcelona is Niko Kovac is interesting because Niko Kovac, you guys remember when Bayern won the treble? Remember Hansi Flick took over after Niko Kovac got sacked? Who was Niko Kovac's assistant coach? It was Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick was Niko Kovac's assistant coach. That's why he got promoted to manager after Kovac got sacked. It was Hansi Flick who was Niko Kovac's assistant manager. So this would be a very interesting tactical battle between Niko Kovac and Hansi Flick. Two managers who were literally working with each other so much every single day at Bayern. They know each other. They know each other. And I'm thinking with Dortmund, if they were to get past Lille and the momentum they'd want to be carrying into the Champions League, knowing that they're going all in on the Champions League this season, Dortmund will have a lot of momentum going into this game if they do get that one over Lille. And this would be a very interesting game. Dortmund, at this point, if they were to get past Lille, and I've said that like 5 times the last minute, fuck me, Jesus. But they have Kovac. And if they're here in the quarters, I guarantee you the defense is stronger and more stable. Barcelona-Dortmund was already a very close game in the Signal Iduna Park just a couple months ago in the league phase. A lot of Barcelona fans will be cocky here in the quarters. Oh, we're going to smash through Dortmund. And, this could go either. This tie, if it were to happen, can go two ways. Either Dortmund will make it extremely close, really, really close, and make Barcelona sweat for it, or Dortmund's defense completely collapses and Barcelona get through to the semifinals, winning 8-3 on aggregate, 8-4 on aggregate, or something like that. That could also be a result that could happen. But I think this will just be too much for Dortmund. Lamine Yamal, Rafinha almost back from injury. Pedri has been the best midfielder in the world this season. Inigo Martinez, Pau Cubarsí in the back, Koundé, Balde. I think it's going to be too much for Dortmund, even if they show up to play and give Barcelona a tough time. I think Barcelona will get through either way. Now, Bayern versus Inter. Now, you guys, the round of 16 is so important because I will tell you this right now. If Leverkusen gets in, Bayern gets in, I'm choosing Bayern or Leverkusen over Inter Milan. Even if Leverkusen is the team to beat Bayern and face Inter in this quarterfinal, I'm choosing Leverkusen. The reason why is that? I think Bayern. Let's talk about the Bayern. Let's actually talk about the Leverkusen perspective. If Leverkusen were win that game and beat Bayern, ultimate bragging rights against them, and take that momentum going into the quarters, facing Inter Milan, a team Leverkusen have already beat this season and dominated in that game in the league phase, I would 100% say Leverkusen is beating Inter Milan over 2 legs. Given the fact that they'd have so much confidence from beating Bayern over 2 legs, the big bad bullies of Germany, of the Bundesliga, and getting to the quarterfinals, that'd be historic for them. They're going to that quarterfinals guns blazing against an Inter team they've already beat this season. And since they beat that Inter team, they've just gotten better. And that Inter team has kind of stagnated, in my opinion. So 100% I'm choosing Bayer Leverkusen if they were to beat Bayern. But I chose Bayern to beat Leverkusen over 2 legs because of the familiarity of the teams, because I think we have the balls to get it done. We have the Champions League heritage to get it done. If Bayern now, same mental aspect of it. If Bayern were to beat Leverkusen, you guys, that would flip our season. That would flip our freaking season because Leverkusen has been a bogey team. If we were to beat Leverkusen over 2 legs, that would be such a massive confidence boost for this Bayern team. And they'd be riding into this Inter game, just like the same thing I was saying about Leverkusen, high on confidence. High on confidence. Now, I do think a Bayern München Inter tie is closer than a Leverkusen Inter tie. I think Leverkusen against Inter over 2 legs, Leverkusen actually has the better chance of beating Inter over 2 legs. Bayern, on the other hand, I would say it's more 50-50, given that, take that mental aspect into account, the fact that Bayern would be beating Leverkusen, a team that they've struggled against, the massive confidence and squad building boost I would give to them, adding to the fact that they would probably be securing the league title by this time in the Bundesliga. They would be coming to this game with a lot of confidence. Inter, on the other hand, they're in a title race themselves against Napoli. Napoli looks like they're slightly edging it, and in control of that title race. Inter Milan will be worried about a title race at this time, probably with these quarterfinal ties. Bayern at this time would probably have the Bundesliga wrapped up if they were to get to this quarterfinal matchup. Excuse me. I just mini vomited into my mouth. And they could put a lot of focus into this game. The stylistic matchup, Bayern with the high line, high press, wanting to dominate. Inter with the 3 in the back, 5 or 6 in midfield, 2 strikers, 1 striker, always interchanging. This would be a very interesting tactical battle. A very big test again for Company here if he were to play Simone Inzaghi's. Is it Simone? Which Inzaghi brother is it? I always forget. I always get their names mixed up. But facing a very experienced Inzaghi, I just think Bayern, I'm just really zoning in onto the mental aspect of where Bayern would be as a team with a win over Leverkusen and securing the Bundesliga title. I really would favor Bayern here. I would choose Bayern to get to the semifinal. I would choose Bayern to get to the semifinal and play Barcelona. Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell you right now, this is not how the bracket will go at all. This is not how the bracket will go whatsoever. There's always a twist. There's always a turn. There's always an upset. So we're going to see. This is a highly optimistic semifinals. This will be a fucking mouthwatering semifinals. Liverpool, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern. And you guys, this is just classic Champions League if this happens. Let's start with Liverpool, Real Madrid. Now, this is so tough, guys. This is so tough because if I choose one team, I already know they're going to win the final. If they actually, you know what? No. I don't know. No, I won't. But let's just talk about the game. Liverpool, Real Madrid. Obviously, Liverpool absolutely dominated Real Madrid in that Anfield game in the league phase. Absolutely. What I'm struggling with is once Real Madrid get to that semifinal, especially in the last 10 years, when they get to that semi, man, barring that Chelsea loss, when Chelsea won the Champions League, bro, these guys usually make it to the fucking final. Usually. Obviously, actually, Man City beat them in the semis as well, right? No, I'm struggling, man. Because if Real Madrid go to that final, that's freaking scary, bro. But I'm going to be honest, man. I think Real Madrid are getting to another final. I don't think as good as Arne Slot has been, as good as Salah and all those guys have been all season, if I'm looking at a semifinal, judging from all the work they've done, I don't think that the Salah carry job can carry on this long. I don't think it's going to be enough for Salah to just carry this team. I don't think so. And I don't know who would have the second leg at home in the semis. I should have looked that up. But something about this Real Madrid team, if they're in a semifinal, bro, I'm imagining Kylian Mbappe is on high-flying form, ready to run at that Liverpool back line, ready to run at Tsimikas, whoever's playing left back. Yes, that Liverpool defense has been strong, I understand, and stable. But that's how much I rate Kylian Mbappe as absolute best. And if they're in a semi, I guarantee you Kylian Mbappe is going to be playing at his absolute best. I guarantee you Vinicius Jr. is just going to show up like he always does for Real Madrid. If Real Madrid make this stage, some defenders will be back. Alaba and Rudiger will definitely be back fully fit for these semifinal games, barring no more injuries. Guys, Real Madrid. The reason why I'm kind of stumbling here is because I'm going to choose Real Madrid, and let's just go over here. I'm going to choose Barcelona. This is so corny. Man. This is so freaking corny. Real Madrid versus Barcelona. El Clasico Champions League final. And I honestly haven't watched... I watch a lot of YouTube prediction videos, but I never got to the final. I never got to the end of these videos, so I actually don't know how a lot of YouTubers have been predicting the bracket, and if a lot of people are choosing an El Clasico final seriously. But you guys, I genuinely think I think we're getting an El Clasico final. Let's talk about the Barcelona Bayern game. Actually, Liverpool Real Madrid. Yeah, I just think the Real Madrid, it's going to be, when they're in a semi, they're just too much, man. I think it'll be too much for Liverpool, and I think that UCL heritage is going to kick in. Yes, maybe Liverpool will play better than them, but I guarantee you Liverpool, I guarantee you Real Madrid will find a way to get to that freaking final. I bet you Courtois is going to play like prime Neuer and Buffon like he always does at this stage. Kylian Mbappe and Vinny Jr. will be on freaking form. Bellingham and Tchouaméni will be on fire with Camavinga. I guarantee you, man. I think Real Madrid are making a freaking final 2 years in a row. Barcelona Bayern now. If this were to happen, this is obviously going to be a rematch of the 4-1 loss where Bayern lost 4-1 to Barcelona in at Barcelona's home in that temporary stadium. I don't even know the name of it still. I've watched so many Barcelona games and I still don't know the name of that stadium. I think this will just be a little too much for Bayern. I think this will be a little too much for Bayern over 2 legs because with 2 teams trying to play the high line, it's going to be 2 teams imposing themselves to try and dominate the game, imposing their will on each other. And I think Barcelona over 2 legs, yes, it'll be back and forth. Yes, in that first game, yes, it was 4-1, but Bayern did dominate actually like possession in large amounts of that game, which is very impressive. 4-1 isn't impressive. It's embarrassing, but the fact that that Bayern midfield was able to compete and dominate at times over Pedri and all those guys is very freaking impressive. Yeah, but in terms of goal scoring, I think this is where Bayern might stumble because I think the lack of threat from those bums like Coman, Gnabry, and Zane will really bite us in the ass at this stage. And I think Barcelona, with Rafinha being so good this season, I think Lewandowski, just watch the guy show up against us. I don't know. This would be a huge test for Bayern and Barcelona, both teams. I'm not saying, excuse me, I'm telling you right now, if this were to happen, I don't think this is going to be like some, 6-1 thrashing for Barcelona over 2 legs. I think over 2 legs, it could be like a 5-3, 6-4 over 2 legs, maybe even like a 3-3, maybe an extra time potentially. But yeah, I think Barcelona will get the job here done, get to the final. And I think, you guys, it's so cringe. It's so cringe. I'm actually cringing at myself. I'm such a loser. I'm such a loser virgin. But I'm sorry, guys. I think we're getting a Clasico final this year. It has to happen. It has to happen. And this is going to be so legendary. This is going to be so legendary. Now, yes, it's Real Madrid. They don't lose Champions League finals, 15 Champions Leagues, UCL heritage, blah, 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 blah. But Barcelona are the owners of Real Madrid. They have scored 9 goals against Real Madrid in the 2 games they've played this season, ravishing Real Madrid both times. This Real Madrid team just cannot cope with the Barcelona attack. They cannot cope with the Barcelona midfield. The Barcelona midfield is just way more technical than them. They are chasing shadows all the time. The attack is just way more dynamic. Now, at this stage, if Real Madrid is UCL final, I guarantee you Mbappe and Vinny Jr. are playing at world-class level, right? At Ballon d'Or level. I understand. But if Barcelona is here in the final, I guarantee you Lewandowski is on form. I guarantee you Rafinha and Lamine Yamal will be at their best. So the defense, both defenses not that strong. Both defenses a little shaky. I still think on either, if both teams were on their day, I think their attacks are equal. I think their defenses are equal. But on their day, I think Barcelona's midfield trumps Real Madrid's midfield every single day of the week. Pedri, whoever it is, Pedri, Gavi, Frankie, Casado, whoever. I think that just the way they set up, the energy they play with, their technical ability is always going to trump Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Bellingham, Ceballos, Modric at this stage, 90-year-old Modric. So I'm going to go, if this were to happen, I'm going Barcelona to be the UEFA Champions League winners, beating Real Madrid. And you guys, if this happens, nuclear explosion on the internet. We're talking about Nagasaki 2.0. Sorry, Japan. That's a horrible joke. That's actually distasteful. But we're looking at nuclear warfare online. We're looking at Messi Ronaldo debates being hashed out again. We're looking at, if this were to happen, this final, regardless of result, we're looking at some feisty ass El Clasicos next season. Oh my God, the implications of this game would be disgusting. A lot of Real Madrid fans would have to go into hiding if Barcelona win in the final. If Real Madrid were to win in the final, a lot of Barcelona fans would have to go into hiding. But I'm going Barcelona to win the Champions League this year, beating Real Madrid in the final in the Allianz Arena. And yeah, that's probably That's probably not going to happen. I'll put my hands up. That's pretty cringe. I went into this video I didn't know who I was going to put in the final. I only thought about the round of 16. But yeah, that's my take. 45 minutes of absolute yap. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you agree. I hope you disagree. I don't care. You're allowed your own opinion, guys. Freedom of speech. USA. USA. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. Call me an idiot if you want to. I don't care. I'm a loser. Nothing affects me. Yeah, let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments. Like the video, please, if you want. I'm not going to be desperate. Disregard the fact that I just said please. And yeah, I need to get better at intros. That's the whole thing. I've been on doing YouTube videos for a year and I'm still not good at intros. But yeah, guys, comment, like, share if you want, subscribe if you're new. We're going full steam ahead into the end of the season content. World Cup qualifiers are back soon. We're going to have those videos out. Lots of Champions League content coming up soon. So guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. It's been your boy Hokage Puya. Peace.